introducing you to people, places, and things that you may not know about, but that you need to know about. Today I'm here at the Museum of the National Museum of the American Indian, where you see we started with this beautiful architecture, which looks like a mountain range or a Grand Canyon. It's a beautiful architecture, so let's go inside to see what else we can find. Yesterday was Indigenous People Day, which was formerly referred to as Christopher Columbus Day, which was changed because many people felt like Christopher Columbus did not discover America. How can you discover something that was occupied by the Native Americans since their beginning of time? So thankfully it has been changed to Indigenous People Day. In 1634, there was a Patuxent man who said to Governor Leonard Calvert, "You should rather conform yourselves to the customs of our country than impose yours upon us," which gives us an indication on how the Native Americans felt by the settlers coming over, trying to change up everything that the Native Americans had established, their culture, their ways. They tried to impose everything that they brought over from Europe on the Native Americans. And from this statement, we can clearly see that it was not welcomed.
Didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
And this wing of the museum is dedicated to why we serve, and it talks about why the Native American people served in the war, and it's asking the question, why were the people who thought that their homeland was taken, why would they fight in the U.S. military? And if we walk down here, it explains how in the Civil War, almost 3,500 Native Americans fought, and explains that the reason why many of them participated was because they felt that they were protecting their homeland. They thought that they were fighting to save their homeland. Even though the people they were fighting for may have had an ulterior motive, they fought because they felt that they were fighting to protect their homeland. So if you come visit the Why We Serve wing, you can read about each war, the Spanish-American War, the World War I, and it talks about the Indigenous people's part in each and every one of these wars. So come and find out why we serve. In the museum, there's also a gift shop called the World Museum Shop, which is filled with things from the Indigenous people, be it jewelry, home decor, clothing. Let's have a look and see what we see. Here are some wooden birds that were carved by the Indigenous people. Tapestries and artwork. This is pottery, Navajo pottery. Beautiful. Dream catchers are something that we see a lot of in our society, and these are things that people use. They think it catches the bad dreams. They hang it over their bed. Excuse me. Navajo sculpture. Baskets, drums, alpacas, cute. Beautiful woven tapestries. The wolf, you know how the Indians like the wolf, the buffalo, the eagle, the bear. And here we have a display of children's books, all with Indigenous people characters. Into adult book reading about Indigenous tribes. And And here we have beautiful pottery. And the butterfly, y'all know how I feel about that. Jewelry, earrings, beautiful, beautiful. Bracelets, beautiful. Necklaces. And here we have the silver and turquoise jewelry made by the Navajo tribe. Look at this purse, that's gorgeous, gorgeous. Here we have dolls. So cute. Oh, it's so cute. Blankets. So as you can see, there's so many things to choose from here. Museum store. Come by, visit, pick up something, or just see the beauty of the things that they created. This section of the museum is called As We Grow, and it's dedicated to the traditions, toys, and games of the indigenous people. Let's take a look at a few of the things.
There they are right there.
These are the cradle boards that the women used to carry the babies in, like a baby carrier. This is what they made, and they were called cradle boards. These are some of the clothes, look at the beautiful work and fabrication of these dresses and the shoes, moccasin type shoes that they made and wore during that time. Hats and bonnets. This is something worn by the Caribou Inuit tribe in the cold places. This is what they would make. It's lined with animal skins. Beautiful detail and artistry. This is also beautiful. It says lovingly made. Took time to make these things. Each one of these is a shell that's sewn on one by one. Hand beading, which we call today. And these are fishing spears. They taught the children very young how to fish and spear, and these are bow and arrows to teach them how to hunt at an early age. And here we have games that they used to play. They played a card game. Requires fast reflexes. These are games of chance. They had card games, hand games. Then they had games that required speed. Then they had games that required skill. And all of these things were used as teaching to learn as they grow, so they had to be fast to catch the antelope, or they had to have skill to catch something else. So all of these games were teaching mechanisms that they learned. For those of you with children, it's a great place to bring them because they also have an imagination activity center with many activities for your kids to do and learn about the indigenous people in a fun way that will appeal to children. So here's an activity where they would learn how baskets are made. They would take one of these things and they would learn how to weave. I did 3 strips. You can come see my basket. I can go all the way up and weave my own basket. And they show you the different techniques that you can use as well. Plaiting, twining, coiling. We did some plaiting, that's what we did. And here we are with Mr. Llama in the Imagination Center. Isn't he beautiful and cute? He's so soft and furry. But do not sit on the llama. You know I would, right? But I can't. Then we have how they can explore gardening. They have corn, how they grew the corn, and the squash, and the string beans. We call them the three sisters. Corn, beans, and squash. They're planted together. The three plants help each other grow. See what you can learn? So if you're a farmer, if you're in the gardening, corns, beans, and squash are called the three sisters, and they help each other grow. Let's see how. The corn is tall and strong for the beans to grow on. The beans capture the nutrients from the soil and trap it to fertilize the corn and the squash. The squash has large leaves that cloud the weeds and shade the ground so the water doesn't evaporate. So I just learned something today. These are the three sisters, corns, beans, and squash. Plant them together, they help each other grow. They also have an arts and crafts area that I guess at different times during the day the kids can come and make an art or a craft, and I guess they were going to make an example of this quilt, wetlands, and learn about the different animals that live in the wetlands. You can actually listen to what they sound like. That's a mallard duck. Ooh. A little library. They have a library filled with indigenous books, which you can come read to your young one. Simulating skateboarding. Oh, he got it. This here teaches them how to practice balancing on a kayak.
Stay in the white.
Mm-hmm.
Your legs will be up here.
Mm-hmm. And your arms out to balance. And got hit start. If he goes on the white, he's in the water, folks. You can build your very own igloo here. The idea. Build an igloo. Look, there's a teepee. Here is a teepee. It says, "Come inside my home." Let's go inside. You ever been inside a teepee? Well, if you come here to the Imagination Center, you can actually get inside a teepee. Here they have animal skins. I'm sure this is how they stay warm. It's actually probably about 12 feet high. Women in many cultures, They belong to the women. They prepared, sewed, and built their teepees. 2 women built the entire teepee in less than 1 hour, and they could take it down in 15 minutes. So look at this, women. The indigenous women were builders. Adobo home, like I just said, made of dirt and mud. Bricks from dirt, clay, water, grass, straw, and other materials. That's how they made their homes. And these homes were on stilts. Over the water, these are stilt homes, which were over the water often. And here's another play area for the kids. You live in a beaver dam. Go in the beaver dam and play. You play with the raccoon and the rabbit and the otters. So bring your kids to the Imagination Center at the Native American Museum. They will have a wonderful time. This exhibit that's now at the museum talks about how many times Native Americans are used in products, advertising, and so forth. So we're going to look and see all the ways that Indians have been used, and these for promotional reasons, for advertising and things like that. Lunch boxes, room for the whole tribe. As a float, I'm guessing that's the Macy's Day Parade.
I don't know. I guess.
The Indian, that's called the Indian.
I listened to you and I sucked it in.
Trans, cigarettes.
Tell me how this soaked through that longer.
A Pontiac car hood was an Indian. Indian Barbie. Lunch boxes, Legos. It's used on the copper tone tan. Motor oil. Argo cornstarch. How many had this in their kitchen? Cowboys and Indians animal crackers. Handkerchiefs. There's Cher in her Indian garb. Kaya, the American Girl Indian doll, 2002. Plane, is that an airplane or a missile? It's a missile. There's a Lone Ranger in South. Native Americans in South Park. Everybody uses this. Land O'Lakes butter. Another Native American Barbie from 1994. There are lots of interactive things that you can do here at the museum, and this section is called Americans Explains, and here you can come in, you can get a postcard, and on the postcard you can write down where images of Native Americans have shown up in your life and how you've seen them in different advertisements, where you've seen them, and you can put it on the wall here and become a part of the National Museum of the Native American. You can have an exhibit in here. So I'm gonna write on here. Come in, you choose a postcard, write whatever you want on this card. So I'm gonna write something down on the card and then I'm gonna place it on the wall. And now I'm gonna have an exhibit in the museum. Oh, we could drop it here. And one day my card will be on the board and yours can too. This part of the exhibit or the museum is one of the exhibits that's most heart-touching. It's called the Trail of Tears. It's about how the Indians were forced out of their lands and their homelands and how they had to walk miles and miles from their native lands to wherever they were told they could reside. So this section is called the Trail of Tears. Please come down and read about and learn about the Trail of Tears. 50 years after the American Revolution, the United States passed the Indian Removal Act. One result was the forced relocation of 16,000 Cherokees in 1838 through 1839, which became known as the Trail of Tears. The act imagined a United States without Indians. It proposed that those living inside the country's boundaries should leave. They would receive payment and new land west of the Mississippi. There go your boy Thomas Jefferson. The end proposal should be their extermination or their removal. John Ross, the principal chief of the Cherokees, said, "Ever since the whites came, we have been made to drink of the bitter cup of humiliation and treated like dogs." Andrew Jackson said, "And it is supposed that the wandering savage has a stronger attachment to his home than the settled Christian." Is that really a question, Mr. Andrew Jackson? It's the guy on your $20 bill. That's how he felt about these people in their homeland. The museum presently has an exhibit of art by Native American artists, so we're just gonna walk through and show you some of the art. This piece is referred to as Allies in War and Peace. And on the outside of the museum, they have the Veterans Memorial. They built wetlands around it like the Native Americans. Surrounded by spears like the Native Americans used. Full circle. Just a nice place to come and relax. So I want to thank you for taking a trip with me to one of DC's best kept secrets, the National Museum of the Native American. Don't tell anybody, tell everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you can get notifications the next time Davine spills a best kept secret. Don't tell anybody, tell everybody.